Joining us now, Senator Joel Carter. He represents District 49. That includes, of course, Harrison County on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, serves as the chair of the Senate Energy Committee. Good to see you again there, Senator.
Good to always see you, Gerard.
And always enjoy the Coast-sponsored event at the Trade Mart we had last week.
Yeah, it was
great food, great event, great attendance.
Great attendance, and we got to see a lot of friends from the Gulf Coast, and it's an event that everyone looks forward to every year. And this is the first time we've had it since COVID.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
A new facility. I mean, it was
great place to have it.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So a lot of good people. Appreciate you guys getting together and doing that for us. So you've been in session now just a little over a week, and general bills are due today or tomorrow?
Well, today is the request deadline.
Okay.
So the filing deadline will be Monday.
Okay. Anything in particular we should know about coming out of your committee?
Out of my committee, well, might have a little interesting legislation as far as this water crisis going on here in Jackson.
Wow. Okay. Anything you can tell us about further, or?
Well, we're still working on it.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people involved, and obviously we have to work with our counterparts in the House as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop basically a vehicle, and get with the House and with the different people that will be affected by the legislation. There's bipartisan support on it. So
okay. There is bipartisan support.
Yep, there is.
You think you'll get that in the House too?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Other than that, any other high-profile items that you're hearing about under the dome that you folks will be taking up?
Not that I'm aware of. I think everybody really wants this to be pretty calm this session. I mean, the qualifying deadline's on the 31st. So,
right.
We'd like to not fight amongst each other, hold hands, sing Kumbaya. You know, that would be a perfect world.
So the speaker was in the House here last week, and he says that elimination of the income tax is still his top priority, and he intends to get a bill done there in the House. Believes it'll pass the House, will be sent over to the Senate. Any thoughts about that and the possibility of that passing?
I mean, I think everybody wants the income tax eliminated. The problem is that we don't know how long we don't know when the outfall is going to be from this budget surplus that we have.
Right.
So that's where the hesitancy has been in the Senate. The Lieutenant Governor wants to do a tax rebate, so he's proposed that. So these are all discussions that are ongoing right now. Nobody has committed to anything. We're still so early on.
Well, best I can tell, having interviewed both the Speaker and the Lieutenant Governor, that particular issue certainly is high priority to the Speaker. I'd say lesser so to the Lieutenant Governor, but as you just indicated, they got different approaches of providing some tax relief.
Right.
The Speaker wants permanent elimination, a plan to do that, phase it in. And the Lieutenant Governor seems to be more in favor of just a one-time rebate at this point.
If you look at states that have eliminated the income tax, it's been great for their business development and economic development. So I don't think the Lieutenant Governor is completely opposed to it. I think he's just more reserved, just given the stats that we had all this federal money given to us over the last couple of years since COVID. And we've got, like I said, that surplus, and we don't know what the future holds, especially with the wasteful spending you're seeing in D.C. right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the Democrats in the legislature have finalized a plan to address the hospital financial situation in the state of Mississippi, and have already cranked up the rhetoric. They're being critical of Republicans for not taking any action here. What do you think is going to happen there? Will we see any legislation see the light of day?
Right now, there are bills out there. I have not personally been involved with that, but I have spoken with the appropriations chair and overheard some different conversations. I don't know what the appetite exactly is in the Senate as far as that goes. I know the Lieutenant Governor is very aware there's a situation there, and obviously we need to come up with a solution.
Yeah, and I guess the two main provisions of the proposal from the Democrats, one of those is just here's $150 million to stabilize, but that's a short-term fix that's not going to cure what is a long-term structural problem. And then the other, of course, is to expand Medicaid.
And that's not going to happen. I mean, the Republicans are adamantly against that. That's not a long-term solution either. We don't that money's not going to be there forever.
Yep.
And you go back to wasteful spending. I mean, look at that omnibus bill that the Senate that Congress has passed. I mean, it's sickening.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But it was just shocking to me that here's $150 million. That's really not solving the problem.
No, you're just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. I'm not sure where what their basis is for being critical of Republicans for opposing what's just really a one-time, short-term sugar high fix, so to speak. Doesn't really make any sense.
No.
Doesn't address that. The citizen ballot initiative process, something else that's come up. I sort of felt like that was unfinished business from the last session. The Senate and the House couldn't agree on mainly the signature threshold, the signature requirements. The House wanted to keep it the same as is currently provided for in our Constitution, 12% of total ballots cast last gubernatorial election. Senate wanted a higher approach there, 12% of total voters, registered voters, as I recall.
Well, there's also this issue. We don't want associations being able to go out and buy out that process.
Okay.
I mean, we want a true initiative process that the Mississippians control, and it's not controlled by special interest groups.
And that's the lieutenant governor's position on that as well. Do you think that there's a compromise that could be reached here so that we can get a ballot measure process back in place?
Man, I hope so. We're talking about it. It just depends. You know how the legislature works.
Oh, yeah.
The House picks their issues, Senate picks their issues, and then it comes to if they can agree or not. That ultimately depends on if something's going to get passed or not.
Sounds like this is something you think we need to restore.
Oh, yes.
We need.
I think it's a good process if it's designed correctly.
Yeah.
And it reflects what true Mississippians feel, and absolutely.
You hear that from constituents?
I do.
Yeah, because it really came into focus right with Initiative 65 when the Supreme Court struck down that ballot measure. Said, yeah, we really don't conform here. The way that process unfolded did not conform with the Constitution, which doesn't align with our congressional districts.
Yeah.
It's really silly how it went on that long that we didn't fix that.
And then you have elected officials that feel like that's what they're elected to do is to change the law.
Make laws.
Yeah, so you've got that debate going on. But me personally, I mean, if constituents don't feel like they're being represented properly, then there's always voting out your elected officials. But I mean, I think a referendum process that's set up fair and it's, like I said, it's not controlled by special interests. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that's on your mind with respect to legislative measures you think may get deliberated?
Not on my mind right now. I mean, I do have a piece of legislation that I've introduced, and it was kind of coincidental that the Senate, U.S. Senate, came out 2 days later, and it's the TikTok ban.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So we all know, you're seeing it on national news. I mean, that China is basically using the app to steal all your information off of the device that you're using it on. They're controlling content too. So let's say, I mean, and look, I'm guilty of watching that stuff. I could sit on it for hours and watch it, and because it's funny, it's entertaining. But what people don't understand is what we see here in the States versus what they see on TikTok in China it's totally different content.
That's right. Yeah.
So in China, they're promoting engineers and doctors, and it's serious. Here, they're trying to. It's like a big smoke screen.
It's entertainment,
right?
Much as anything.
And they're also, like I said, they're stealing all the information off your phone. I mean,
several states have already banned it.
Yeah, I think we're up to 12 now.
Yeah, and the federal government, right? No federal devices can have TikTok installed on it.
That's right. And we're not just talking about TikTok at this point. like ITS, they're wanting to look at all types of different apps.
Interesting. That would be the Information Technology Services Division of the state government there that sets all the standards for information technology for the state. Senator, always good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming on. I'm sure we'll be talking some more as we get underway here with the session, start seeing some bills dropped and hit the floor. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Appreciate it. Senator Joel Carter represents District 49, Harrison County. Coming right back here in the Element Wealth Studios. Stay with us.